If we are a business professional who would like the tools to better understand our financial data to make better decisions and be able to compare our financial data to those of competitors, competitors of equal size or competitors of different sizes, or if we are a business professional who would like to advance our career by learning the tools for analysis, ratio analysis applicable in many different areas, or if we are an investor who would like to learn the tools to analyze and assess financial data from financial statements, or an accounting student who is learning financial statement analysis tools and would like to learn these skills much faster. This course is a course for us. What will we learn? Financial statement analysis tools. Tools that can be used to take financial statements and analyze them for decision-making purposes for both internal users and external users, for both management or decision makers within the company and external users such as investors or creditors deciding whether or not they want to do business with the company. We'll list out the most common tools and then we'll go into detail about the tools that will typically be used for the analysis of financial statements. They include horizontal analysis. This is going to be a type of intuitive analysis where we're going to take the financial data and compare across periods in a way that'll show us the difference year over year or period over period, as well as a percentage difference, and we'll discuss how that can be used for analytical purposes. We'll discuss vertical analysis, which results in common size financial statements, this being the comparison of a single period to itself. One of the key benefits of a common size financial statement is that we can then take it and compare it to other industries or other companies of different sizes. We can't compare the dollar amount, but we can compare ratios. And this is going to be a common theme, not just in this course, but any type of measurement process. Anytime we're trying to measure performance, job performance, company performance, we're going to have to go to ratios at some point in time. We could see this in performance, such as something that many people like to judge performance in sports, which is basically the judgment of the performance of workers. And we're using ratio analysis in order to judge how well the workers are doing. Why? Because we're having to measure things of different sizes and compare things of different sizes. Ratio analysis is going to be necessary for that. That's going to be our next tool, ratio analysis. We'll see ratio analysis and ratios in horizontal and vertical analysis, so we do have some overlap in terms of the use of ratios. But ratio analysis from a formal tool of financial statement analysis is going to be a grouping in and of itself of key points within the financial statements that we want to compare to each other in the format of a ratio, in the format of a division problem, to see if that can give us some insights about the performance of the company. We'll break the ratio analysis out into components or into categories to give us a better idea of what those ratios are grouped to tell us to do. Those categories will include liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, profitability ratios, and market prospects ratios. Within each of these categories of ratios, we'll actually list out the ratios that fit under those categories. We'll show the formulas for those calculations, and then we'll break out how you want to format your information when doing these calculations. Those are two different things. We can know the formula or have the formula, and then when we actually do the calculation, break it out in a bit different fashion, because oftentimes the formula is going to include words and other types of calculations in it, which we'll need to know or calculate to execute the formula. So our goals include knowing what the formula is, being able to calculate the formula, and being able to format the formula so that we can calculate it most easily, and then being able to analyze what that formula is doing for us, what the trends of that formula are doing in comparison to certain standards such as past performance, other company performance, the industry in general type performance, and any kind of set general standard type performance that we will be comparing our ratio analysis to. Then we're going to be taking a look at financial statement analysis reports. This is going to be a common formatting of this information into a report setting, and we'll see how we might display this report setting. We'll also talk about what software can do in terms of helping us with this process and what software cannot do. Note that software, if we enter this information into software, can help us calculate the ratios, can help us with industry standards, can help us with the comparison of our numbers to a grouping of industry standards if the software has the compilation of those industry standards. However, we're going to want to go into more detail than that when we do the reporting on the ratios and what the ratios are telling us. So we have to be able to calculate the ratio so we know what the ratio is telling us, so we have an intuitive understanding of the ratio, and we can then know more than just the trend of the ratio. We can dive down into why is the trend happening in terms of, has there been a change in decision making? Has there been a change in direction with regards to decisions within the company? Is there a change within market or economic conditions? What is causing the change in the ratio? And that typically takes more than software can do. The software can basically calculate the ratio, tell us what it means, tell us what the trend in general is, and then we typically need to take that information and say, okay, how can we break that down to a cause in terms of decisions or market conditions? Why choose this course? Although this course will have a lot of instructional videos, we will have much more than just instructional videos, including PDF files that can be downloaded, can be used as a reference without internet access. We'll have Excel practice files that can be downloaded, can be worked through and used to work through, along with step-by-step instructional videos, typically including 3 tabs, one with the answer to it so you can see the completed problem. Very useful in ratio analysis because although we often have the formula, we really need to think about how we're going to break that down into the actual calculation. The formula isn't often enough because there's going to be components of the formula that might need another formula within it, and therefore we need to think about and visualize how we format the table, whether we do it by hand or in Excel. We need the grid, we need the table in our mind so that we could just basically do these calculations when we need to do the calculations in the most efficient way. We'll also have a pre-formatted tab in Excel, which will have a pre-formatted worksheet that you could fill out along with step-by-step instructional videos, and then a third tab with a blank Excel worksheet that you can use to format along with the instructional video if you want to work on Excel formatting. We'll have practice test questions in the form of multiple choice questions. These will be in the format of a video, so we'll actually discuss the multiple choice questions and we'll discuss test taking skills as we go through the multiple choice questions. When we think about multiple choice questions, we're taking this big topic, these ratios that we would be doing on these entire financial statements, and thinking about how a test would break them down into just some small multiple choice questions. The only way to get good at that, to get used to that, is to see the format of multiple choice questions, practice them, go over test taking skills with them. We'll also discuss discussion questions or essay type questions, these being more open-ended questions, the objective often being to expand on the information if we have time so that we're more likely to pick up the most points for something like an essay question, touch on the topic that is being looked for, or in a discussion question, add to the discussion, add to the topic. Who will we be learning from? We'll be learning from a practicing CPA, a certified public accountant, someone who has a CGMA, Charter Global Management Accountant designation, a Master's of Science in Taxation, is a CPS, certified post-secondary instructor, and curriculum development expert, someone who has experience putting curriculum together, curriculum of a technical nature and or that needs to be taught in some type of linear fashion in such a way that students can get from it what they want. Please join us for financial statement analysis, ratio analysis. It will be great.